Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, it is almost time. The final Smash Brothers DLC character for Fighter Pass number 1 is about to be revealed in about 8 minutes. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Actually making it on time, and you can probably see that my screen is very dark right now. Understandably so. Um, I'll fix that in just a moment. I'm gonna. What is it? Yeah, I'll fix that in just a moment. I'm gonna use my phone light to get my face a bit better. But I've hidden the desktop screen, so okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this. I don't think we have time for a... What is it? Yeah, I don't think we have time for... I don't think we have time for like a pre-stream. So sadly, we're just gonna have to get right to it. But really quickly, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some water because I still still have a little bit of a cough. So just a second. All right, we're back. Hopefully, I just want to check one more time, make sure everything's working. Okay. Okay, I don't think anybody's gonna appear in chat. That's fine. That is fine. I'm just here to get my reactions, but really quickly before we begin, I guess predictions. Everybody's expecting, well, I wouldn't say everybody. A lot of people are expecting Dante from Devil May Cry, which would be really cool if that happens, honestly, because it is a pretty popular series right now, especially with Devil May Cry 5 releasing, I believe it was last year. I think it was last year Devil May Cry 5 exists. DMC5, whatever you want to call it. Probably it's called DMC5 because it's a bit of a tongue twister, honestly. But this thing is going to be starting in about 4-ish minutes. I'll go and get the flashlight out. That way you guys can see me a bit better. It's gonna be blinding to me, but you know, that's fine. One more quick checkup just to make sure everything's okay. Alright, we're good. Okay. I am going to stay like this. Oh. Like the video. It's Daddy Sakurai. Of course we're gonna be liking it. So I don't know if they're gonna have any more new modes. That would be very cool. I think this is just the character they're gonna do. This is just probably a me thing. If they were to add one more new mode, Boss Rush, Super Smash Bros. Brawl, one of my favorite modes in that game was the Boss Rush, Boss Battle mode that you could do in solo mode. That was really fun. It was like a Kirby boss gauntlet. And Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has some really good bosses, so I'm a little sad we don't have a boss rush for the game. I mean, technically you could say, yeah, the final boss, or so like the final level is, you know, a boss gauntlet after like a platforming challenge, but I don't know, that doesn't really count, would it? I wouldn't count it at least, but yeah, I don't know what time it is. Can't really check. Yes, I can. Okay, it's about to start in just a few minutes. I'm very excited. So let's see what this is. Alright, I'm a little bit more tired. Maybe we'll get excited in just a few seconds. Who knows? I didn't get much sleep last night. I was very excited for this. So, yeah. Should be starting any moment now. Excuse me. Alright. Almost time. Dude, every time there's a direct, this is like the most stressful. There we go. Alright. Daddy Sakurai! Let's
Super
go.
Smash Bros. Ultimate from Sora Limited. We'll be using today's showcase to give you a first look at our next DLC fighter.
Heck yeah.
Actually, hardly anyone knows what we'll be announcing today, even among Nintendo staff worldwide.
Really?
The development team and other stakeholders have been working on this fighter with the utmost secrecy, which means other Nintendo staff around the globe will only start making preparations for release after the showcase has been broadcast. So, it won't be available right away. Please understand that it will take a little time. I think even many Nintendo employees will be surprised to see this and say, wow, really? So, let's all share in the fun of getting our hands on the latest information. However, even if you say, that's not the character I was picturing, I hope you don't have any hard feelings. We've prepared a fighter reveal video. Once it starts, I think you'll figure out who it is pretty quickly. Now, let's do this.
Let's see. Let's see who this is. Heck yes. Let's go. What? Oh wait, this is some kind of Fire Emblem character.
The time has finally come to unleash the forbidden spell of Zaharat upon our enemies!
This looks very Fire Emblem.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap? As you and I are one, I too am trapped within this void. In time, our hearts and minds will cease to be. Are you prepared to die?
So, is it this guy, Byleth?
I thought as much. I also do not wish to die. And yet, there is no other choice. You must join Smash.
Huh?
Join Smash Brothers already! What in the world are you waiting for?
Well then. I guess it's Byleth.
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
Alright then, it's Mr. 3 Ounces boy. Interesting. I'm not a Fire Emblem guy myself, so but I imagine all the people right now are gonna be like, oh, this is like 50% Fire Emblem characters. I don't know.
So you return, and sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there? And you wield the sword as well? What will you do?
Is this the female counterpart?
So that is how you plan to win the day? So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
What? Are those
How is this?
totally different weapons? Byleth recruits Byleth, yay!
Of anyone, you should be able to handle the hero's relics.
Well, at least there's
Arid Fire, strike with
at least
superior
there's
reach.
at least one Nintendo character from the Fighter's
Use Amir's
Pass.
overwhelming power.
I mean, we all thought it was all third parties.
Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction. Your will and
Ooh,
mine be
the
now
stage.
as one.
Yes. At this point, I'm more excited for that.
Both sides of time are revealed.
I mean, of course, the character itself is probably going to be fun. Alright. Alright, well, thing is, I would be more excited, but I'm not really the biggest Fire Emblem person ever. That render looks clean, though.
Yes, there you have it. Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses is joining the battle. Fire Emblem Three Houses was released just last summer, so it's still very new. Even so, you'll soon be able to play as them in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This release is planned for January 28th. You'll
Oh,
have
dang.
instant access if you have the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass, and it will also be available for purchase individually.
So, that's about...
In case you're not familiar with Fire Emblem or Three Houses,
It's
I'll
in just
explain
a
a
few
few
days.
things, so don't worry. First off, what is Fire Emblem?
Oh boy, here we go.
It's really hard to pronounce in Japanese. The producer said it's okay if I just say Fire Emblem. But when writing it, if you don't write Fire Emblem, the Fire Emblem police will come and get you, so please be careful. The series' first entry launched in Japan on the Famicom in 1990. You could say it was a pioneer in the genre of tactical role-playing games. You might be wondering what makes it particularly tactical. Well, it's tactical in that it simulates combat. You can think of it as moving pieces in a board game, or in other words, a game in which you advance units across a grid and battle. When we talk about tactical games of that era, there were lots of ones in which you command tanks, aircrafts, and so on. But Fire Emblem was unique because each unit was a specific character, sort of like in role-playing games. Plus, something made it stand out from other Nintendo products. Characters could permanently die. That's pretty direct language though, so perhaps we should just say they're sleeping with the fishes.
Yes, die
But really, if a
in
character
this
fell in
game
battle, you'd
about
lose that unit.
killing
They'd be
countless
gone, and you
enemies.
couldn't use them again.
That's too harsh of a word.
Recent entries in the series maintain this concept of permadeath to some degree in classic mode and what have you, but a lot of games now allow strategic withdrawals, so to speak. In the older games, your units would really be gone, never to be mentioned again. Scary. The game's stories are told like chronicles of war, with increasingly distinct characters and engrossing scenarios. Several characters also appear in the Super Smash Bros. Series, and 6 of the 7 can use a counterattack. It's their down special. There's actually a reason for
all
this.
of them at
When
this
I was
point
considering
have
how to incorporate Fire Emblem
a
fighters
counter.
into Super Smash Bros. Melee, I thought it might be interesting to reflect the turn-based nature of the original game. First comes your opponent's turn. They attack and you counter. Next comes your turn.
I mean, that's a bit interesting way to think of that.
And now, Fire Emblem Three Houses is the 17th game in the series. People who aren't Japanese in particular might be thinking, 17 games? There are that many? Well, if you
Yeah,
include
but like,
Fire Emblem Heroes in the
like
remakes, but you don't
3/4
include
of
the
them
Satellaview
haven't.
game, Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and Fire Emblem Warriors, then it comes out to 17 games. Let's try saying them in the Fire Emblem Can You Say It challenge.
Like,
I'll give it a try.
like 3/4 of the games haven't been released in America.
聖戦の系譜トラキア776、封印の剣烈火の剣、聖魔の功績、荘園の奇跡、暁の
The
女神
Sacred Stones is the only one I have, and that's because I was part of the 3S
There you
ambassador
go,
thing.
17.
Hey, that's the pose.
今変な数え方してます
So you saw how I was counting in a weird way, right? I was counting in binary.
つまりこれが全部
This is 0. Fold this here and you get 1, and then you get 2, then 2 plus 1 equals 3. So this would be 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then you get 16. Add 1 and you get 17. Awesome, isn't it?
Sakurai is teaching us math.
You can
Sakurai,
actually count
please
up to
be my
31
math
on one
teacher.
hand. And if you use both hands, you can count all the way up to 1023.
畳の数を数えるのに目の数を数える
If you've given up counting the knots in a tatami mat, you could always give it a go. What is Fire Emblem Three Houses?
The latest entry in the
In
series.
Japanese, the male version of
Yes.
the main character is called Bereto and the female version is called Beresu, but in English they share the same name, Byleth. Byleth becomes a professor who ends up leading one of 3 academic houses. Once you've chosen a house, you guide them through their school life, and, well, you end up fighting the other houses. After a certain incident, 5 years pass, and you meet up with your grown-up students to battle against the other houses in
I'm
their
very
regions.
curious to see how
It's a very sad game
how
in
his
which your
character
former
plays.
allies become enemies, turn
That's
hostile,
usually-
and try to kill you.
If I'm not excited for the character itself,
To understand the
I'm
concept
usually
of Fire
excited
Emblem
to see
Three
how it
Houses,
plays.
I played an early version of the game before its release.
見てきましたこれは
I've done
Dude,
the same thing
Sakurai,
before with The Legend of
give
Zelda
us
Breath
that
of the Wild, for
beta
example,
footage. Give us that beta footage, bro.
because I couldn't wait until launch to experience it, or we'd have never made it in time. For that title, I borrowed an early version of the game for 2 days, ran around all the areas, saw the ending, and realized for the first time, I guess we can't really have Breath of the Wild's Princess Zelda as a fighter.
初めて分かったりするんです今回も同じような
I did the same this time, but with there being 3 houses and multiple endings, it was really hard to get a feel for it.
それをいろいろ
And of course, there weren't any walkthroughs I could reference.
何しろ攻略サイトがもちろんありませんしねいくつかのルート
The game has multiple routes, and the outcome of each is very different.
となるんですねなので
Your experience will vary depending on the route you choose, and many of the characters you meet will adopt different roles in the story.
今回は
I'll try to avoid spoilers when I'm talking about the fighter. I hope you'll understand.
よろしくお願いします
Personally, I don't
Before
care
my
about Fire
demonstration,
Emblem
I should point
spoilers,
out that when
but
I did the Terry Bogard showcase video, I mentioned that it was recorded a month in advance. But this time, we have to account for the holidays and such, so we're filming 2 months in advance of this video's release. Right now, it's actually November. Therefore, some of what I'm about to show you might differ a bit from the finished version.
また、いつも
As always, I'm using a special in-game camera and such for demonstration purposes.
では
Here I go.
As part of Challenger Pack 5, Byleth.
So this is our new fighter, Byleth.
Whoa, it just skipped?
Sadly, they're lacking in mobility. It's maybe a bit better than Robin's, but that's about all you can say for them. Throws are not their strong point either. Their grab lacks range. But actually, you could say that they're distance demon. The hero's relic they use changes depending on the direction you input with the stick. Each of the hero's relics is a weapon that appears in
The Fire Emblem
3
stages
houses.
were always cool, in my
They
opinion.
look like bones, and
in
there's a
Smash.
reason for that. First, let's talk about the weapon Byleth uses for upward inputs, the Sword of the Creator. The Sword of the Creator here is Byleth's default weapon. They use it for flurry attacks and tilt attacks, such as down tilt attacks, where it takes the form of a whip. They also use the sword for dash attacks and other moves. For their up smash attack, they'll whip the sword upward to launch enemies in the air. For their up air attack, they'll wave the whip sword overhead. The hit detection for this attack lasts for a relatively long time. The up special move is really something.
Can't tell
The sword
if that's gonna
extends
be
like
annoying
this,
or not.
allowing you to do things
It'll
like
probably be
this.
fine. Whoa, okay, that
It
was
was
cool.
pretty terrifying how I knocked him into the air with that attack. And in addition,
Oh gosh, that is going to
you can do
terrify
awful
me.
things like this. That said, you'll launch opponents upward until their damage reaches a certain percentage. Exceed that percentage and you'll need to be careful. You may find it helpful to mid-air dodge. I've already shown this, but you can also use it to latch onto edges. So that's the up special. Now for the sideways inputs. This is Erdvar, the same name as the weapon from Celtic mythology. First, we'll go through the forward and back air attacks. As you can see, they have a long reach. Like so. Marth's air attack keeps opponents in check too, right? If Byleth does the same thing, you'd win out, so you should be able to beat it. Next, the side smash attack. This also has a long range. It'll connect even from here.
Oh, good grief.
Also, if you add an upward tilt, it will be stronger. And if you've knocked an opponent down, the side attack won't hit unless you add a downward tilt to aim for them. By the way, the tip of the lance is more powerful. The shaft part is weaker, so it's not suited to close combat. It won't deal much damage, and it won't launch opponents far. That's why, as a rule, you want to hit with the blade part aimed upward. Or downward in this case. Next, the side special move. Byleth will simply swing the lance like this, but again, it has excellent reach. For example, even when your opponent is at this distance, it'll still hit.
Good grief. That is going to annoy the mess out of me.
Actually, you can do a smash attack to charge forward a little, like this.
I really hope this character's balanced. That's all I had to hope.
But as you'd expect, it can be easily shielded, so
Probably
be
will
careful.
be. Banjo, Terry, and Joker are pretty
Use it in
balanced.
midair and you'll carve
Y'all
up a
know
large
me,
area.
I'm just not a hero fan.
Returning to the side air attacks from earlier, they have great horizontal reach, but they lack verticality. So this complements it well, although you'll be vulnerable when you land. Now, for the downward inputs. For these, Byleth will use an axe called Emir. It's named after a weapon that appears in Ugaritic myth. First, the down air attack. It really is strong. You can try for a meteor effect with this attack.
Dang.
Next is the down smash attack.
How many spikes does
A
this
heavy
character
swing of
have?
the axe back and forth. As you can see, it has a great deal of launch power. And for the down special, Byleth channels all their energy into a devastating strike. It's a bold move, similar to the Falcon Punch, but here's what makes it different. When readying the move, there's a super armor effect,
So kind
which
of
allows you to
like
withstand an attack.
kind of like King DDD. I
Just so
think.
you know, if you execute a Falcon Punch at about the same time,
Oh,
plays out
good
like this.
grief.
it's a bit slower than the Falcon Punch, but due to the super armor effect, you have the advantage. Unless you get grabbed. Another notable aspect is that it lets you pass through platforms. While you're charging up, you can breeze past platforms
Okay,
like
that's
this to reach a
useful.
lower area. It won't let you jump, but you could use it as a surprise attack.
That is if
Also,
platforms
you
are
can turn around
enabled.
during the move. The swing takes a while, so if an opponent runs behind you during the move, you can quickly change direction. Even though it can be hard to land a hit with this move, it can be really effective when used against a group of opponents.
Yeah, that is
Plus,
both
even
of
if you
them.
fail to land a direct hit, any opponents on the ground nearby will still be launched a little. It's as if the quaking of the ground launches them.
If that's the max range, then that doesn't look ridiculous.
By the way, earlier I talked a little bit about the
Or
other
well,
Fire
not
Emblem
type.
characters'
Well,
moves.
what I mean is
I
like.
don't recommend using this down
Okay,
special
I don't know
against
why I
fighters
said
from the
type.
Fire Emblem series
I don't know why I said
because you'll
type.
just get loads of counters.
It's very like it
It
doesn't
hits
really.
with that much power in a single attack. Counters can actually multiply the
It's
power
good that the
of
range
block
isn't that
attacks,
high.
and using easily anticipated attacks like
I don't know
this
why I
could
did
just
that.
get you hit by counter after counter. Next, we have the neutral moves. The bow
Okay,
you
where
use
is this?
called Fail Not, which shares its name with the bow from the Knights of the Round Table. It only appears in a few neutral moves. You've got the neutral air attack. This attack is similar to a move of Pit's and other fighters like him. It lets you spin the weapon around. It's also easy to create certain combos with it. And with the neutral special, you'll let loose an arrow. It seems pretty straightforward, right? But there are a few noteworthy aspects to this bow. First, the biggest difference between this bow and Link's is that once you enter the command, you can keep charging until it's ready. You can't release it partway through the charge, so when it does fire, the arrow travels at high speed. It's also very powerful. That said, you can still cancel out of the stance using the shield button. You can also change direction while in the stance. It works up until this point, but if you keep holding the button, you'll unleash
Okay,
a
good
powerful
grief.
arrow that looks like a beam of light. You can perform this move by keeping the button held down. You charge up power like so, charge a bit more, and then fire. But again, you'll need to take care when using this move. For one, when you've powered up the move to its max, there's no way to cancel out of it. Not even with the shield button. In other words, you're committed to firing it. So you see, a situation like this is pretty terrible.
Oh, okay, that's
Once you've
pretty
entered the stance,
fair.
you won't be able to do anything,
That's pretty
which
fair.
means it's quite the risky attack to use against fighters who have a move with a reflector effect. But you could always just aim into the fray, as it is, after all, a long-range move, letting you deal a sudden blow to opponents. So you need to think carefully when using this projectile weapon. Byleth's final smash is called Progenitor God Ruptured Heaven. In the original game, there's a move called Ruptured Heaven. This is an enhanced version.
And the
As you
mine.
can see, you team up with the mysterious Sothis and launch an attack together.
It's probably English in the final version.
Now, let's talk about the color variations. It's set up so that the default and odd-numbered color variations are male, while the even-numbered ones are female.
Kind of like Robin.
However,
and
the third,
Corin.
fourth, and fifth colors are, as you can see, reminiscent of the house leaders. Those of you who played the original game will of course understand what I'm referring to. The sixth color is based on Sothis, who you just saw earlier.
Interesting.
And the 7th and 8th variations have a different hair color, which is based on something that occurs in the course of the original game's story.
Gosh darn it.
Didn't we see this variation in the final Smash?
まあこれは原作でもということで
Alright, new stage. I'm interested to see
Next,
this.
I'll introduce the stage.
ステージは
For this one, we of course
The
tried to
soundtrack
recreate
I've
the
been
place
hearing
where you
throughout
spend
this
most
is
of the game,
very, very,
Garreg Mach Monastery.
very, very good. I really like it.
原作に
This is how Garreg Mach Monastery is laid out in the original game. From these, we chose to have it cycle through the marketplace, reception hall, bridge, and cathedral, all in one stage.
It's kind of like the... I forgot what the
It's
stage
the
is
type of
called.
stage that rotates through different areas, such as these 4.
その4つのエリアを
Let me introduce each of the guests that appear in these 4 areas.
Not what it's called, but it's like the first
The
Fire
first
Emblem
area is the
stage,
marketplace.
like from Brawl.
I
I
think this
forgot
is
the
where a
name
lot
of
of people
it.
come to do their shopping. The guests that appear here are students of the Blue Lion's house, Dimitri, Dedu, and Ingrid. Not Dimitri, Dudu, or Ingrid. Their names are a bit difficult to say. They're largely from the Holy Kingdom of Fargus. Since it's a kingdom, that means they have a monarchy. For that reason, I guess you could say Dimitri's the future
English
king.
with
He had quite the difficult
Sakurai.
life and may or may not end up with just one eye. He's an unfortunate one, that one.
このステージの特徴として
There are vendors on either side. In the original game, these are important booths where you buy all sorts of things, but
You can
here
destroy
you can break
it.
you see.
You can destroy it and smash.
If you do break them,
F fire. No, I'm
the
kidding.
stage will expand to the left and right.
これから軍の
I wonder where people will buy their supplies now.
そして
And in the background, you can see the
I'll
gatekeepers.
have to travel.
You often pass through this
Well, they
area
don't
in
have
Fire
to rob
Emblem 3
other
houses,
people.
and you end up
I don't
talking to them a
encourage
lot.
that though.
Moving through these areas is possible thanks to this mysterious platform. Just when it seems like you've come to a stop,
Okay, that's a cool effect.
you'll come crashing back down. Be broken through the ceiling and slammed into the building.
大広間に出てくる
And the guests in the reception hall are Edelgard, Dorothea, and Petra of the Black Eagles. Take note, it's not spelled Edelgard. They're from the Adressian Empire,
人たちですねこのアドラス
and as such, they embrace their military might.
を置くわけですま
So
あ
that's interesting.
Edelgard
You're
is one of the
traveling
characters
through
who is
the three
central to the
houses.
conflict.
That's cool.
Depending on the path you take, she'll go through some terrible ordeals. You'll notice there are prominent chandeliers above the stage. It's
They can
possible
be
to knock them
broken.
down.
だけど残念な
How the heck can you get up there?
However,
though?
Violet can't actually reach it, even though it's their stage. You can reach it with other fighters, though.
だから
So, it's nice if you can work your way up there by getting lucky and being launched up, or perhaps by using another fighter as a stepping stone. There we go. I
Oh, okay, that's
made it. And you
interesting.
can knock it down.
ついでに言うと
Also, you can break this table. Like so.
This is turning into the Fire
Just like
Emblem
the sign
3
that reads Fudin
Houses
Kazan
Wreck
in the Suzuka
Everything
Castle
edition.
stage, it can break if you launch the opponent into it at close range.
ということになっています
Next up, the bridge. The camera rotates 90 degrees, creating this long area. It's very wide indeed.
結構横幅を切るんですけど
It's similar to the bridge of Elden stage.
ゲストはキルシュ
The guests are from the Golden Deer, Claude, Hilda, and Lawrence.
これはレスター
They belong to the Leicester Alliance.
人々ですね諸行同盟ということはまあつまり連邦とか連合とかそういうような感じで
Okay.
Because it's an alliance of many noble families, you could say that they have a wide assortment of members. And Claude is the sharpest of the bunch. Incidentally, both Claude and Hilda are the names of characters that appear in Genealogy of the Holy War, the 4th title in the Fire Emblem series. I guess once you've reached the 17th game and are creating 40 characters for each new entry, you're bound to get a bit of name overlap. The naming process must be tough. Hey, it looks like the Pegasus Knight is busy training.
Well, how does Pokemon do it? Oh
As
wait,
for
they
the bridge's
subtract
design, it's
400
just a
their
long pathway,
Pokemon.
plain and simple. You can expect plenty of blows to be exchanged at the edges of the screen. You could also say it's a place where the fail knot really shines, and in this sense, I think it suits the Golden Deer perfectly. The last area is the Cathedral, only with some platforms you can pass through. The guests appearing in the Cathedral are Sedith, Flame, and Rhea. There's Sedith, who appears to have an extremely strong bond with his sister, Flame. She seems to be under the protection of him and Rhea, who you can see fighting during the opening of Fire Emblem Three Houses. All three have character quirks related to their true identities. I feel that Flame might be saying shush at this point, so I'll leave it at that. This is a simple area of the stage. All it has are these platforms. Being the last area, it may be a place where some intense battles will be waged. It'll cycle through each location in about 2.5 minutes. Okay, today we'll have a tag team battle in Squad Strike with the DLC team pitted against Fire Emblem protagonists from throughout the ages. That'll give us precisely 5 players per side. Alright, here we go, Joker. Joker!
What? Oh, you're joking.
And Hero!
Oh, God.
Gee, we really made a lot, huh? Banjo! By now, I think you know what I'm doing. But basically, I'm trying to defeat all 5 opponents with just the Professor gear. But as expected, it's going to be a pretty tough battle, so I'm using anything I can get my hands on. It's not going to land that easily.
I
Uh-oh,
wonder
this is
how
bad.
many. I wonder how many attempts this took.
Shenanigans.
He's doing all this with one life.
I better keep my distance. I'll use this chance to attack. Got him. That's scary. He's invincible for a moment here.
Let's plays with Sakurai.
Lots of explosives. Ouch. Perfect shielded that, huh? Good one. If I do this, or like so. No anti-air, huh? There, the soccer ball connected. Good, there's Mom. You're in a good spot, Mom.
I don't know why. That was funny the way he said
I
that.
shouldn't have taken that. Gardevoir. Well, I guess no one uses projectiles. At this point, it doesn't matter if Gardevoir's there or not. I feel like the enemy might get this Smash Ball. See? They got it. But I mustn't give up. I can't waste this chance. There's another Smash Ball. Yes, got it. Now! What are you charging up for? There's still more. Whack! Go on, you can take the hammer, but it's mine. Although I'm scared I might get hit with a counter in this state. I hit him! I was trying to fight using Byleth's abilities alone, but what matters is that I won. Good game. It can be fun to play like this, especially in tag team, so I think it's a good idea to try imposing different types of challenges on yourself. The end.
Ooh, the song.
Now, about the additional
The song's
music.
really interesting here.
Since it's from the Fire Emblem series, we'll be adding each of the new tracks to all the Fire Emblem stages. There are already a lot of Fire Emblem tracks in the game. Our selection this time has been made taking those existing tracks into consideration. 11 songs are being added. This includes an arrangement of the main theme in both Japanese and English. I hope you'll enjoy these as well. We're also adding in a new spirit board. It includes the house leaders among some of the other popular characters. Sothis is Legend class. Also, there's a new
Yes,
classic mode route,
your
the
final
Heroic Legacy,
smash
which is designed to let
is
you
a
enjoy
Legend
classic
class.
Fire Emblem stages
Yay.
from throughout the series' history. The final battle is against Master Hand and Crazy Hand. but you'll find that something pretty amusing happens, so look forward to that. Now for the Mii Fighter costumes. Please take a look.
Oh, shoot. Let's get ready to go, boys. What? Is this actually an Assassin's Creed character? He looks very much like an Assassin's Creed character. Okay. Let's add some Rabbids and not Rayman. Actually, that makes sense because Mario plus Rabbids. Forgot about that game. Oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Costume that was from the last game. Let's go. Let's go. More costumes that are from the last game that we have to pay money for now. Let's go. You have got to be kidding me! Oh my god! Cuphead! Yes, Cuphead! Oh my god. They actually put Cuphead in there. They actually put Cuphead. Yes. Oh. There goes Cuphead for Smash. I am buying that. Yes, and it comes with music, baby.
This time, we're releasing a Cuphead costume. And for those of you who purchased the Cuphead costume, an additional song will be added.
I'm buying that.
It's called Floral Fury, and it's the theme that plays when fighting Cagney Carnation. I hope you enjoy these as well.
I'm buying that, and I'm making a stage off of it.
After
love for
purchasing a
Mugman,
costume,
though.
I recommend using the sharing feature. If someone has created a Mii Fighter, you can play using the costume it's wearing immediately after you download it. And now, onto the amiibo.
Ooh.
The color palette for Dark Samus looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Ooh, the Dark
Samus
one,
and
I
Richter
would
are planned for
definitely
release on Friday, January 17th.
Okay, that's tomorrow. Alright.
And now,
That's
with
the
the addition of
fighter pass.
Violet, the Fighter's Pass is finally complete. The lineup was Joker, Hero, Banjo and Kazooie, Terry Bogard, and
5 legendary Fighters Pass fighters.
from more than 70 fighters, only 5 have been added. But I must say, this game has always been an exceptional experience. And since the roster was already so large to begin with, right from the start, we intended to make the most out of the new gameplay mechanics and so on. There really were a lot of new mechanics, weren't there? When we add a new fighter, we don't simply make their attacks or their movements a little different. Instead, we try to offer you a whole new style of play. As I stated, we'll continue to release more DLC fighters down the line. I had thought that 1 or 2 might suffice, but, well, have a look.
What? Ooh. Ooh. Wait, what? 6?
Looks like there will be one more fighter than last time. For this reason, we will be releasing the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Volume 2. It will be available for pre-purchase on the date shown, so please keep an eye out. And now that it's official, we intend to move ahead with development. Of course, like last time, the contents will remain unknown for now, and I'm personally very sorry that we have to release Fighters Pass Volume 2 when the details have yet to be revealed.
I'm still gonna give them
Like
that
last time,
cash
I'd be
money
very
anyway.
grateful if, despite that, you would understand why and purchase it.
Sakurai, I
Furthermore,
will
the new additions have
pay
already
you
been
my
decided.
money. I will
Even
give
if I
you
receive
the
many requests
stats,
regarding potential
my
candidates
boy.
on Twitter, I'm afraid it would be very hard to consider them.
Even if they're characters I all hate.
But I still hope you'll look forward to it. We're also including a bonus with Fighters Pass Volume 2. Last time, it was a Rex costume. But this time, here's what we have.
I thought it was a character.
It's a Mii Fighter costume for Mii Sword Fighter, the ancient soldier gear from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Okay, sick.
This will not be for sale individually, so it can only be acquired as part of Fighters Pass Volume 2.
Alright.
It's been reported that Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is the highest selling fighting game in the world.
Really?
Personally,
yeah.
I don't know if it
course it
counts
is.
as simply a fighting game, but I guess it's seen as a fighting game around the world. Seems like Street Fighter 2 was in the lead for a while, but now Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has surpassed it in total sales. However, I'm not sure if this is accurate. There were 5 versions of Street Fighter 2, or 6 to 7 if we really want to get into the weeds. Plus, there's the arcade versions and the 25 ports to other systems, so I don't know if that's been accounted for. Also, I don't know if that really qualifies as one game. It's up for discussion. So, who knows? But when it comes to a single piece of software, it seems like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is number 1. Although, I still don't know if it can really be called just a fighting game. I feel like it's become more than a fighting game, some sort of celebration of gaming
It
or something else
is
entirely.
a party game.
Also, I feel a deep attachment to the 5 DLC fighters. The first Fighters Pass just wrapped up, but it was decided that there will be more DLC, which means no breaks for me. I plan to keep working hard, so I
Or
hope you can
Sakurai.
continue to support us. That's it. Thank you.
Goodbye, Sakurai. Sakurai, you beautiful, beautiful man. Alright. You know what? That was a good presentation. I'll admit right off the bat, I am not a Fire Emblem person. I do not care much about Fire Emblem at all. But I'm still really excited for the DLC. You know, just because, of course, the fighters are they're gonna be fun to play as, you know. The fighters are always gonna be fun to play as, you know, whether how disappointing they are, you know, like, you know, just in general, just as reveals, you know, they're usually gonna be fun to play as, and the stage they're gonna come with is gonna be pretty fun. Well, at least it's going to be a new sight to see, because, you know, you got the Battlefield and Omega versions, Final Destination, so, you know, each DLC packet has at least something for everyone, which is what I approve, but this DLC is so well set up to where even if you don't care about the characters at all, you know, the stages, you know, the stages and the things that come with it will always still be fun. Like, you know, Hero. I don't like Hero. I don't like the character as not necessarily the character in general. Like, I'm saying the character in Smash. If I was to say a character in general, that'd be a bit dumb. Because Dragon Quest XI is a good game, and you know, characters in that game are good, so. But the Hero, I swear, I feel like he's a bit too powerful for who he is, and he is an RNG-based character. I feel like you can do that right. I feel like you can do an RNG-based character right, but I think his stats are just too high, like his damage output. Which is why I'm not a big fan of Hero as a character in Smash Brothers. Not in general, just in Smash Brothers. So, So yeah, but still, there's stuff to enjoy about the DLC. Like, I really, really, really like the stage for Hero, which would be... I can't say the name right. But, super pumped to play this DLC when it launches January 28th, which is about 12 days from now. So, yeah, don't have to wait much longer. But, I feel like this could have been good if they... Well, it would have been a lot longer to prepare, because they still have to edit the video and stuff. I feel like the character trailer could have been good for the Game Awards. I think. Now, don't get me wrong, I still approve of watching the Sakurai Presents. They're fun to watch. Even their characters I don't care about. But I don't know. I feel like that would have been a bit more exciting of a Game Awards reveal. I feel like they could have squeezed that in somewhere, even, and then maybe like have the Sakurai Presents after. I don't know when the trailer was made, but who knows? But it doesn't matter. It's already happened. That event's already over. So basically what I'm trying to say is, even though I don't really care about 3 of the characters from the Fighter's Pass, I think the DLC is all really enjoyable just in general. So, yeah, and Volume 2 of the Fighter's Pass, I am pre-purchasing that the second it goes live. Well, not the second it goes live. I'm currently saving money for a computer, so I probably won't buy it right away. But I'll buy it as soon as I can, because I'm really excited. But 6 more characters, dude. So excited. I don't know when the next fighter is going to be released. It might be a while, since it was only September when they revealed that they were doing DLC. Who knows? Probably around maybe summer 2020, maybe late 2020, who knows. But Smash Ultimate is still gonna be around for years to come, and that's great. So, very excited for the future. But yeah, yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to the Byleth DLC. Even though I don't really care for Fire Emblem at all. Now the thing is, I have a bit of statement to make. Another Fire Emblem character. Yeah, I know that was a meme back in Smash 4, but now there's another Fire Emblem character. So there are more Fire Emblem characters than Zelda characters. Wait. Link, Young Link, Toon Link, Zelda, Ganondorf. That's 5. Then we have Marth, Roy. Yeah, we have Marth, Roy, Lucina, Robin, Corrin, Chrom, and now Violet. That's 7, I think. And more Fire Emblem characters than Kirby. Bloody Kirby. Oh gosh. I should make a video of what Smash characters I want. Now my wants are probably gonna be ridiculous, but ones that come off the top of my head would definitely be Crash Bandicoot, Doom Guy. I know I sound ridiculous right now, but I think Doom Guy would actually be very cool for Smash. Think about it. He is a large arsenal of weapons. He's a good fit, even though he's M-rated game and he rips and tears everything. They find a way to do it. I mean, they made bloody Bayonetta. They made Bayonetta a character in Smash 4. That game's still rated E10. So they could definitely work it out for Doom Guy. So, and also basic stuff like Bandana Waddle Dee. Who else would I want? Goku. No, I'm kidding. I don't want Goku. I don't know. Probably mainly Crash. Mainly Crash Bandicoot. Spyro would be pretty cool. I mean, I know those are pretty distant ones, but given like what we've been like, what we've gotten? We got bloody Banjo-Kazooie, who is property of Microsoft now. We have Joker from Persona 5. Anything's possible at this point. Maybe, I don't know. But maybe my hopes are just too high. But that's just me. So I'm gonna head out for now. Probably gonna nap. I still got a place to be. I need to rest. But hope you all enjoy. I'll probably stream again when the DLC releases. Probably will be streaming on Twitch though, because Twitch is my preferred streaming platform now. I only streamed on YouTube just because the live reaction wanted it to be on here. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.